Hello, we're Team Ferris, and this is our final CapSim presentation. I'm just going to start by introducing our team briefly. I'm Katie Yonks, so as the team president and also in charge of competitive intelligence. We also had Seth Meacham, the VP of production. We had Austin Marquis, the VP of finance. We had Noah Velliser, the VP of research and development. We had Mallory Lockhart, the VP of HR and TQM. And we had Jackson Wynn, the VP of marketing.
Next, we're going to go over the agenda. We're going to talk about each department and how they contribute to our overall success. Then we're going to talk about each team member and the lessons they learned from the simulation. Our team takeaway is that collaboration is most effective and all departments need to work together in order to have success.
So each quarter it was kind of a challenge to do R&D because it varied so much based on what the customer needed as far as age, longevity of the sensor, that sort of thing. So we have different products, low end, high end, traditional. As you can see on the right, which is the perceptual map, there's a data point where we want to land, and that's the bottom right of that circle. And sometimes it was best for us not to land on the bottom right because we needed to age that product because that's what the customer wanted. As far as the customer survey scores, we were consistently in the top 3 in that category. We always did the best we could to get the customer what they needed. We differentiated our products by providing the lowest cost, and we gave the best products that we could to the customers. Finally, we were able to adjust and kind of react on the fly very well, which kind of aided us in the process of the simulation.
So as far as marketing is concerned, we took some dips in overall shares. However, we found a way to rebound every single round. We were consistently price high in order to maintain high contribution margins. We had fairly accurate forecasting throughout the rounds, and we got a late start on getting the sales and promo budget up. However, we eventually reached diminishing returns and we scaled back our spending, which proved to be successful for our team.
Thank you, Jackson. My name is Seth Meacham, and I'm in charge of production this semester. Now, we want to draw your attention to the left chart where we can see the carrying costs. Year 7, we struggled. We had too much inventory, and you can see where we took a hit. Now, if we look to our right side at the automation rating chart, we incremented on average about 1, sometimes 2 per year for each category, and we actually were at optimal level. Now, we never quite hit the sweet spot for the production schedule, and we struggled to find optimal capacity, but we did a great job saving money in production, and this allowed the contribution margins to be through the roof. Thank you.
I was in charge of HR, which is human resources. We started in round 3. We did $5,000 of recruitment spendings and 80 hours of training. I was also in charge of TQM, which is total quality management. It drops costs and makes all processes faster. In round 4, we spent $1,500 in each category. We did that from round 4 to round 6. And then because of diminishing returns, we moved to $1,000 in each category in round 7. And then in round 8, we finished with $0.
Hey, I'm going to go over some finance stuff a little bit. So if you look at the stock price graph, you can see our stock price trended down through about week 5, and we were able to rebound it the second half of the simulation. The next one I'm going to go over is our short-term debt. We took short-term debt week 1 to try to get ahead of the rest of the packs, and that strategy mostly worked. We were able to stay away from short-term debt until week 7, where we did have to take out a little bit more to finish us up. Moving on to long-term debt, we took some long-term debt to help set us up for the future, and then we were able to stay away from it for the rest of the simulation. If you look at week 3 on the stock issue, that's what we can best describe as a CapSim glitch. It sold 5,000 shares without our authorization. In week 4, we actually had to buy back 4,000 shares to try to help fix our stock price and our cash position a little bit.
For our management strategy, we actually had a broad differentiation strategy where we produced top-of-the-line products across all segments. In addition, we had high contribution margins every round because of the low cost that we produced. And we also had high prices, and we did not move from the high prices because customers were willing to pay that high price. We started by discontinuing our low-end product, which proved to be a little bit detrimental to our team. However, we tried to maintain presence in all categories, and we finished up with adding new low-end and traditional product to the market and managed to keep presence in all markets.
So just some results I want to share with you. Ferris's biggest downfall was in the financials. We could never quite figure out how to get that score up on the balance scorecard. Our stock price score was pretty good, but we just could never quite get the leverage worked out, and so it really counted against us in the end. Our final class ranking was 4th, and our best section on the balance scorecard was in learning and growing. We constantly invested a lot in that, and it really paid off in the end for productivity. And then I just want to briefly brag on my team as a highlight for being adaptable, for being able to get things down to a process, and for just having a good inter-team culture. Everyone really got along and worked really well together the entire simulation. So what I learned from this project is just to always keep a positive attitude because your team is looking to you for cues on how to respond likewise.
The biggest thing I was able to take away from the simulation was the ability to adjust on the fly and use that as an advantage against the competitors throughout.
I learned that marketing conditions are unpredictable and that companies' forecasting is not always right.
So team collaboration was the biggest takeaway for me for the simulation because when we came together as a team, we proved to have very profitable results.
What I learned from the simulation is that the market is constantly changing, so you have to be able to adapt to any situation that is thrown at you.
So if I had to pick one key takeaway, it would just be how critical communications between departments is. For example, with me doing finance, I need to make sure that we have enough cash on hand so that R&D can do what they need to do and production can do what they need to do. And that'll expand across any organization.
Again, we are Team Ferris and we are happy to take any questions. Thank you.